This right here is the Sony 10 to 18mm f4 OSS. And this lens is insane. Just for contrast, right now you're looking at me at 50mm f1.8, so I'm probably pretty big on your screen. I will switch to this lens in a second. But yeah, like I said, this lens is absolute insanity. This is just for contrast so that you will understand a little bit better how wide this lens is. I am around 1 meter away from the camera, maybe a little bit more. And I personally would consider the 50mm not really practical in a studio environment or in an office environment, because as you can see, it's pretty tight and you really need to be a little bit further away from the camera to make the 50mm lens work. For example, if I stand up right now and go a little bit further back, now this one works. If I would knee down, you see this would work. This looks kind of nice and this gives you a little bit of breathing room from me, basically. But that's not how I want to record my videos. I want to record my videos up close to the camera, and therefore I will switch to a 24mm right now, which is also a wide lens, but not as wide as this one here. So right now I'm sitting at the same position, around 1 meter away from the camera, and filming me right now is the Sony 24mm f2.8 G lens, which is a fantastic lens, but it's not the topic of this video right now. This is just an example to show you how in my environment right here, a 24mm lens would look. Way more appropriate for this small space. And therefore, if I would like to record a video, I would probably go for the 24mm instead of the 50mm. That is, unless I have this lens right here. You just saw it. This is again the 10 to 18mm lens by Sony. This is a beast. Someone at some point in time realized that you can use this lens with a full frame camera. This lens is originally made for the APS-C line from Sony, but someone discovered you can use it with a full frame camera. That gives you a lens that is 18 to 10mm, which is insane, unheard of. There are probably a few lenses out there that have somewhat of a similar range, but they are probably not that light, not that small, not that cheap, and in general, probably not that accessible. I will put on this lens right now and you will be amazed how this lens looks. So this right now is the 10 to 18mm Sony lens. It's only f4. That means that the ISO just got up on my camera. I can see that on the screen. And also the background separation is probably not as good as on the 50mm and the 24mm lens. But for me, I've decided that background separation for me isn't that important really, because for YouTube I don't think that's such an important thing anymore. I like videos that are a little bit more raw, you know, where you can see that it's just YouTube. It's not a movie, it's just YouTube. And therefore, at least for me, I've decided that, you know, f4 lenses are totally fine, even though I just showed you some that are lower than f4. So anyways, this is the lens in 80mm, and you may think, well, it's not that big of a difference between the 24mm and the 80mm. And you're correct, it's a small difference, a noticeable difference, but just a small difference. But now let me go to 10mm. This is what 10mm look like, and I even have to look if you can see stuff right now that you shouldn't see because it's so wide. It's insanely wide. I'm still the same distance as I was before, but now I will go to the camera as I would if I would record a video. So this, for me, would be the distance I would record a YouTube video. And now I'm around 1 foot away from the camera, so 30 centimeters, around 30 centimeters. And this is how it looks. I love this look. What I don't like is 10mm. I am more a friend of, 12mm, something like this. I think this looks insane for YouTube. For me, this is the perfect YouTube look, and this is the perfect focal length for my studio environment, for my office environment, for my home, where I record. Probably there's a focal length for you that is better, but this 12mm for me, I think it's perfect. I really enjoy that. I can do stuff with my hands. I'm close to the camera, but it looks like I'm, in a big room. So that's great. One thing that you probably noticed though is the distortion around the corners. You see there is a distortion. There's even vignetting going on right here. And it's not that bad when you go past 12mm, But if you're at 10 millimeters, you can really see the vignetting over there in the corners. You can also see the distortion. For example, if I take my fingers and go to the end of the screen, they become longer and longer and longer and longer. But I can live with that. I'm not trying, if I record a video, I'm in front of the camera and not around on the sides. So that's not a big problem for me. But anyways, that's basically the video. It was an unscripted video. I hope you still like the video. I just wanted to show you how insanely wide this lens is. It's insanely wide, and I really appreciate that I have this lens. And I would 100% recommend this lens to everyone who tries to record videos in a tight space, because this lens is perfect for that. It's not that expensive. I think I paid $400 used, which is way, way, way cheaper than if you buy a G Master 16-35, for example. And with 16, you would only have, this would be 60 millimeters, which is also cool, also great, don't get me wrong. But I mean, this 12 millimeter right here, like I said, for me, it's perfect. I love this look, and I'm very happy that I found this lens. Oh, we are close to 1,000 subscribers, so it really would mean the world to me if you like my content, if you would subscribe, so we can reach this 1,000 subscriber goal. I'm doing YouTube for over 10 years now, and I made gaming videos in the past, and now I think in 2020 I started this channel right here to, have a creative outlet, to make some reviews, to geek around gear, because I love gear and stuff. I never really thought that I will reach 1,000 subscribers one day, and so far I haven't, don't get me wrong, but yeah. Thank you, really, really thank you for watching these videos, and thank you very much for your support. So subscribe if you haven't already, and if you enjoy my content, like the video if you haven't already, and I would say I see you in the next one. Stay safe.